Hello, this is Tea Mentor Food. How's everyone doing today? Great, wonderful. Today's video, I would like to talk about how I was when I was in the world before I was called in and saved uh, by the Lord Jesus Christ. I don't know, when I was in the world just didn't work for me. And what I mean by that is that things that, jobs and things that people were getting, I could not get those jobs. Um, or I just always felt different. Um, I never felt like I fit in. Um, I used to try to be like, everybody else that was around me, but I could not be like those people. I couldn't, for instance, my sister used to be like a receptionist. Her and her friend used to be receptionists and stuff. And I used to always want to be a receptionist. And I was like, man, I'd like to be a receptionist. But I could never see myself being a receptionist, or I could never see myself going for that. And if I did, it just, in my mind, it never would have worked out for me. Because I just wasn't really liked like that. I wasn't liked like my sister and her friends were liked, and I wasn't liked. And I just always felt like I was like this different person. Like I just didn't know who I was, but I certainly knew that I was different. And I always felt different. And I didn't know where this difference was coming from or feeling different, but I always felt different. Um, I would go to school, I would wear the latest fashion, the latest clothes of that time period, and I still would come home and I would look in the mirror and I would look up and down at myself and I would say, well, Tracy, you're dressed like them, you're on the latest fashion, your hair is like them. But it was just still something inside of me that just didn't feel like I was like everybody else. It was just the weirdest thing that I always felt. And so, based on me feeling different from everybody, I wanted to fit in. So in order for me to fit in, I started drinking alcohol. I started smoking weed, and then I started doing heavier drugs, thinking that this was the way to be. This was the way to shake this feeling inside of me that I wasn't right, or I was different. And they're coming up from a dysfunctional background. You don't know that it's okay to have those feelings of being different or to be different. You don't know that those feelings are okay, because we're all with a certain amount of insecurities when we're coming up, and that those feelings that we're having are normal feelings. But when you are coming from a background that's very dysfunctional, you don't know that those feelings are normal feelings, because no one is there telling you that, oh, it's okay how you're feeling, it's okay, and I've been there and done that, and you're going to be fine. And just keep following your true passion. If no one is there telling you that, then you certainly don't know that. You don't know it. And so that was my case. I had no idea that how I was feeling was okay. So instead of me going to the right, and doing the right things, I chose to go to the left and started doing the wrong things. And after being on that road of wrong way of being and wrong way of thinking, I am now trying to be on the right road, the right way of being, the right road of thinking, the right way of being, based on the fact that I am a believer now. And so based on me being a believer, the Lord Jesus Christ is showing me the right way to go. But before that, it was like I was like these dry bones walking around, not knowing who I am, not knowing who is Tracy. So based on the fact that I didn't know who I was, I kept taking these low level type of jobs. I was forever taking low level jobs that were mediocre jobs, so jobs that can never really put me on a pedestal of actually having greater things in life. It was just jobs to basically get me by, waitressing, cashiering here, doing this, doing that. Just lower level jobs, never ever really making it enough, just barely getting by. But all the while I was in these lower level jobs, I can still feel that there was something more inside of me. I could feel that there was something more that needed to come out, that needed to be expressed, and I just felt like this greatness that was inside of me, and that this greatness wanted to come out. But I didn't have any clue as to how to bring this greatness out of me. I had no clue as to how to bring this purpose out of me. But every time I was working a job that I didn't care for, I could feel this greatness inside of me no matter what. And so it was something that I could never shake. I never could shake the fact that I could feel this greatness inside of me. And I say that, and I'm talking in regards to my life, because we've all came from backgrounds that aren't healthy, or, a lot of people come from backgrounds that aren't healthy. A lot of people come from backgrounds that are healthy. But the ones that haven't, they tend to live in that unhealthy way of being, and we take these unhealthy ways of being all throughout our life. And unfortunately, they mess up our lives, and our lives continue to stay in this messed up way of thinking and this messed up way of being. And it's not until we realize that it's not our beginning that defines us, is that how we choose to end our life that defines us. And what we came from doesn't have to be our lives. Our lives can be different. We can be different. We can make choices and decisions to be different, to be people of purpose, to be people of transitioning to something greater than our background has been showing us. So, I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels this greatness inside of myself. I'm sure there's a lot of people that feel that way too. But the thing about having this greatness inside of you and knowing what to do with it, you have to now start sitting down with yourself and asking yourself some serious questions, and trying to figure out which way to go. What should I do? What's my passion? And really start following that passion. And letting that passion come over your thoughts of fear, and your thoughts of telling yourself you can't do it, or those negative thoughts. You have to start shaking those thoughts and let that passion overpower that. And once the passion is overpowering, now you have to start making action tracks. You have to start actually doing something, stepping out there. And so let us not let our backgrounds define us. Let's be bigger than our backgrounds, and let's follow that greater purpose that is inside of us, that God placed inside of us. For many years, I fought with God, and I bucked up against Him and what He was wanting to do in my life. I mean, I would have jobs one minute, and then I would be fired the next, and it's like, God, what are you doing? I need this job. I need to pay rent. I need to eat. I need to, have a car. I need to have transportation. I need to this. But He was always taking something away from me. It was always, He was taking my shelter away, taking my transportation away, taking my car away, just taking. And I didn't understand, why are you taking away things that I need to survive? But he was taking them away so I could really start looking at who he was, and then I could really start looking at who I am, and then I can really start following that greatness that's inside of me. So a lot of times, if we're going through these times where God is closing doors and he's taking things away from us, it's because he's really trying to get our attention, and he really wants us to sit with him and before him, and just really start doing the necessary things in our life so that we can have this greatness unfold before us. Because I believe that we were all put here for a purpose. You know, we all have something to do. We all have an assignment. And until we start tapping into that assignment of knowing what we were put here to do, then we'll have lives that are always look like they're in shambles, or they're falling apart, or something's not right. And even if you are walking in your greatness, you know, you still can have those moments where things don't look right, or things aren't going right. But at least you know that now I am, you know, somebody. Now I am great. Now I do have a purpose, and now I can continue to walk in that purpose. So that's really what it's all about. Following that greatness that's inside of you. Going to the one that you know that can help you unfold this greatness inside of you. Because without God, or without a guide or a mentor, or someone leading us down these pathways to be greater people or better people, we, you know, will be lost. We'll continue to be lost. But it's until we find that God is the way for us to get to where we're going, and he's the only one that can get us there, and other people can get us there too. But he put that greatness inside of us for a reason. So now we have to start following different guideposts and ways in which to get us there, to help us become all that he's called us to be. So you have greatness inside of you. I would like to tell more of my story and how I felt, you know, in my 20s, and just not knowing who I was, you know. But just because I didn't know who I was didn't mean that I didn't have a purpose. And just because you don't know who you are doesn't mean that you don't have a purpose as well. Okay? So I'm on a healing journey. I'm a believer in the Lord Jesus Christ. I'm nothing without him. And I mean that, nothing without him. You know, if it wasn't for him, there would be no me here. I would not be here right now. And so I'm very grateful to the Lord Jesus Christ for bringing me here today to speak to you all. So hope you like this plate of food. If you like, please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. I would love to hear what you have to say. I would love to hear your food story. And continue to heal on this healing journey. And God bless you all, and be blessed.